Recording in progress, and with that, we are finally back here on Pod Save the Rivalry. It's been like a month or so, a little more, but we're back. Kurt was too embarrassed by his Red Sox pathetic performance this season, so he's not here.
Wait,
Or maybe
we're not playing the Red Sox tonight?
yeah, no, because we were apparently supposed to be
We were
afraid of
supposed to.
we were supposed to be afraid of seeing them in October, according to their fans.
That way, I don't see him. Like, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, they're
I've
ghosts.
been terrified that Nestor was going to lit up a big homer to Devers all day. So I mean that makes me feel good.
Or or in other words, he's in class if we believe that. So Kurt cannot be here. We've got a very special guest, friend of the pod. Been wanting to get him on for a while. Our boy, top chef in Plattsburgh, New York, Kaden Laduke. Kaden,
That's Mr. Top Chef.
Mr. Top Chef.
Mr. Top Chef.
How are you doing today? How we feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy to finally be on the podcast. This has been a long time coming, considering you guys have been telling me for literally months that I'll be on, and I finally got on now. And Kurt doesn't even have the balls to show up when I show up. So,
yeah,
I think Kurt could only handle one guy from our high school class getting on. So that's all right if it's me for this one, and hopefully I will fill in admirably.
Yes. Ra, what's up with you? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
All right. So let's just dive into it. Our Yankees are back in the playoffs where they are every year, pretty much. This year, 99 games, I guess. Since we'll do a quick recap of, I think when we last recorded was when the Yankees were just kind of starting their big slide. It was not looking.
It's been that long.
Yeah, it's been a while. They were starting their big slide that they had. It was right around when it was right around when like the high school football started up because Aiden was on
so
and
early September.
No, like the practice.
Like late. Oh, so like mid-August.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when they were really bad. That's when they were really bad.
When they were going really bad, they end up turning it around, finished the season with 99 wins, which it's a little like when you think about what they were on pace to do at the beginning of the season, and especially us on this podcast, we're talking like we were giving Kurt, we did have to eat our words a little bit though. I did tell him that we were going to beat 108 wins. That didn't happen. But we are behind that now. Turn it around in September. Can
I just say one thing about the bad Yankees real quick?
Yeah.
So this is, for anyone that's living under a rock, this is a legitimate lineup the Yankees ran out. Cabrera, Judge, Torres, Guzman, batting cleanup, Andujar, Marwin, IKF, Florial, Higgy. It's a real lineup they ran out in the Portland game against the Twins.
Yeah, it reminded me of some of the lineups they ran out in that stretch last year when Judge had COVID. There was this stretch where Judge was literally the only person hitting. It was looking rough, which made what he did and ended up accomplishing more impressive because I'm surprised teams didn't pitch around him sooner, but the fact is like he was the only one producing. He single-handedly won us some games. He finished with a higher WAR than Shohei Ohtani. I mean, we're all like Judge is the MVP. We all know that.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
I'm not that if Judge didn't hit 62 home runs, if he hit like 58 or 59 and Ohtani won the MVP, there'd be part of me that was like, all right, I get it. It's like he's like conventionally the best baseball player I've ever seen. But for Judge to break literally the home run record and also lead the league in every possible offensive category except batting average at the end, there's no way he can't win the MVP.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially like you talk about Ohtani and what he's done, which is so impressive, pitching and hitting, but which makes Judge having a higher WAR than him, despite not pitching, even more. Like he has been more responsible for Yankees wins despite not pitching than Shohei. And Rory has bashed the Angels enough on this pod. The Angels wasting Shohei and Trout. I mean, pretty much all baseball fans hate the Angels. How can you not? But we got past the rough. They really are. And even they wasted John Madden too, or Joe Madden. Great manager. But we got past the rough stretch. Stanton's turning it around. Glaber's turning around. I'm gonna swing it over to Caden. How are we feeling going into the playoffs? How are we feeling about this series and what is likely looking up like a matchup with the dreaded Houston Astros?
So I don't want to be overconfident, but like I was literally thinking today about the fact that well, one game two is not happening today because of the rain. But you guys remember the 2019 division series against the Twins,
Yeah.
where to me at least it didn't even feel like playoff baseball because it was literally just oh the Yankees are just going to win, and then they swept them in 3 games. None of the games were close, and then we played the Astros, and it was like okay now it's go time.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is right now for me. I think this Guardians team is a little bit better than those Twins team just because of their pitching. So like, there's every
They
chance
look
that
like they
Shane
won
Bieber goes
100
out.
games, from like what I remember.
Yeah, but that was a really bad division, and like their
Guardians are in the
best
same
pitchers
division.
were like Barrios, and they started an Uber driver against us in game two, and Didi hit a grand slam off.
Yeah, I think I was honestly more nervous going into at least game one with the Twins just because they had they hit more home runs than us that year. Going into the
Yeah, but that was literally all they could do.
Yeah, it was all they could do, but I remember they led off the first inning with a home run. Like I was at least after game one, like and it was the Twins too, but definitely like the Guardians just they don't have the bats, I feel like our pitching is good
No, they
enough.
don't.
They can't hang with us and
They don't.
but anyway, let's go into game one. What happened now 2 nights ago. Our boy Kane, you did call 4-1. You called the Rizzo home run. Great
I just
call.
knew. I
You-
felt the presence go through my body, and Anthony Rizzo was hitting a home run in that vision.
yes, and he ended up doing that. Cole gives up the early home run, which we all knew he was going to do. Wasn't really panicking. I will say that, like, if there's a team that Garrett Cole like shouldn't give up a home run versus, considering they're like one of the worst home run teams in the MLB, it is the Guardians. But still, one solo home run, you'll take that every time. He dominates. And I know, Caden, you have a lot to say about Garrett Cole and how Yankee fans treat him and all that. But he shoved. He shoved. He absolutely shoved. There's no doubt about it. He did what we paid him to do. And if you're gonna give him shit for what he did last year, you got to tip your cap this year. Garrett Cole, he looks like he's on one in this playoffs. I don't know. What do you guys have to say about that?
Raw, you want to go first? Or you want me to take this one?
Yeah. So like the narrative that Garrett Cole is not a big game pitcher, we heard it all year. That's just completely false. His playoff career as a Yankee, if you take out in Boston, 4 out of his 5 playoff starts as a Yankee have been really, really good. Like this guy is worth every penny. This guy's an ace. I don't want to hear it. People are like, "Oh, he shouldn't be the game one starter and all that." No, he is him. He is that guy, and he is my ace. Come October, he's when he's on his game, he is the best pitcher in the American League. That's just it. It's time to take him to appreciate him while he is here.
He's gonna be here for a while, but all right, Kane.
So I mean, I've gotten into heated arguments with so many people all over social media, young, old, different facets of social media about Garrett Cole. And I saw a tweet yesterday that I think perfectly encapsulates what the Garrett Cole thing is with Yankees fans. And the tweet said, Garrett Cole has about 25 starts a year where he looks like Roger Clemens, and he has about 5 starts a year where he looks like Javier Vasquez. And Yankees fans would rather focus on the 5 where he looks like Javier Vasquez. That's not to say Garrett Cole's never had a bad game. That's not me saying Garrett Cole wasn't bad in the playoff game against the Red Sox last year. But beyond that one game, Garrett Cole has been absolutely every possible thing the Yankees fans could have asked for. And he showed it again in game one. And the crazy thing about how good he was is if I look back and close my eyes and think about Garrett Cole's best starts as a Yankee, that's not even going to be in the top 5 or 10. Like it was just a casual good game by Cole, and I think, how most of his playoff games should feel, I guess. Like, it didn't feel like he was overly dominant. It didn't feel like he was just mowing people down, but he was getting the outs. He had one inning where some people got on base and one inning where Quan got the homer. But beyond that, he gets through 6.1. I think he had 8 strikeouts. So, I mean, I'll take that anytime. You're going to, against a team like the Guardians that doesn't score, you don't want them to score. They scored 1 run. So, of course, you want that.
It was definitely an important game because, like, all what he did in Boston, I think he had to do it, and he did. I mean, I still think his best game of his career, nonetheless, as the Yankees, was to this day the best pitching performance I've ever seen. Was the 130 pitch game against Houston, because that will forever be the game I think of when I think of Garrett Cole.
Well,
that's
hopefully it's not, because hopefully he's on the mound when we win the World Series.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Rob, I was gonna say Game 7 against Houston this year when he pitches another shutout.
When he has another
If
130
Houston's lucky enough to make it to 7.
It could
So,
be Game 6.
Listen, and also you have to keep in mind that he was not helped by elite
by
defensive
IKF.
shortstop IKF, who did he make?
Oh.
No, he made 1 error and then hit into 2 double
Grounding
plays.
2 double plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also had another ball that Rizzo saved him on an error that was a terrible throw, and then he also had a ball that he should have caught that he just didn't catch that was called a hit.
Yeah, really a terrible luck for and Boone and probably more Cashman. I don't know how much say Boone has in those decisions. I mean, over Cashman. Cashman's not going to hire somebody that butts heads with him too often. But really just, I mean, the first ground ball that's hit, it's an IKF error, especially since every Yankee fan and their mother was confused that IKF was starting as shortstop.
I don't know what you mean, Kay. He's the best defensive shortstop in baseball. That's all I've been told all year.
Yeah, by like neutral analysts, people that watch the Yankees every day. I mean, there are some.
By Aaron Boone. By Aaron Boone in press conferences after he had game-losing errors. They'll ask him, like, are you thinking about putting Peraza there? He's like, I don't know why. I mean, IKF's been one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball. And no one's been seeing it. I haven't seen it. I don't think you guys have seen it. From game 1 on, he's objectively been a bad defensive shortstop. And because they can't handle the embarrassment of trading their starting catcher and third baseman and taking on $50 million for a declining player to get this guy to play shortstop, and he was really not good at it, they can't handle that embarrassment, so they're going to keep running him out there. I don't like it.
Peraza also, like, the big decision for Boone wasn't even IKF over him. Well, at least what he said was that what he was up late at night deciding was Marwin versus Peraza, which for me makes it even worse because what did we really invest in Marwin? Like, compared to Peraza? Like, there's no one's gonna like be like, well, that didn't work out. Like, at least you gave up a lot to get IKF. Marwin, like, there's no emotional, like, I don't understand what even the sunk cost fallacy is dumb, and that's what they're doing with IKF, but there's not even that with Marwin. So I don't see how you can play Marwin on the playoff roster over Peraza. Does not make sense to me. Ra, what are your thoughts on this?
I just think, like, I don't know how you, like, don't have Peraza in the starting lineup over
the bench,
Marwin or IKF, because, like, Marwin has not done anything, and Peraza has shown a lot that he could do. And we need, like, the young guys were the people that gave us the jolt when we were really struggling in August. So, like, you put your best players forward, and I don't think they really did that from October. And it's just kind of has been that way really for a while for the Yankees. They just sort of put out the players they invested instead of making the right decision.
I want to talk about quickly, now that this game has been rained out, the hot topic is now in this series, it would be 4 games in 4 days, and then also traveling the next day, the Yankees would have to travel to Seattle. Or not Seattle, Houston, like wherever we would play, there wouldn't be an off day. which is terrible scheduling. I don't know why the MLB even had the every other
MLB
day
Masterclass.
MLB Masterclass. Yeah, I don't know why they had that, but one, I don't think the series is gonna go 5 games, but the way that the schedule is working out, it makes tomorrow a lot more important for the Yankees. I mean, obviously you want to win both at Yankee Stadium, but being up 2-0, really avoiding the series going 5 is more important to get that rest day in between the DS and the CS. So it looks like the Astros are gonna not that game series isn't gonna go 5. How concerned are you guys about that run of potentially 4 games in 4 days and then a CS?
So it doesn't concern me in regards to this series. I still think the Yankees are going to win this series. What does concern me is what it means for the Astros series. And so I've been thinking ever since the news of Tate getting rained out, if the Yankees go up 2-1, do you try to save Cole and not pitch him game 4? Do you pitch Tyone or Herman or do a bullpen day game 4 and hope you win that? And then if you desperately need Cole for game 5, you run with that. Because if Cole has to pitch either game 4 or game 5, then he wouldn't be able to pitch on full rest until game 3 of the championship series. And if Nestor's right behind him or Sevy's right behind him, then they likely would be delayed a game 2. So we'd have to start Tyone, Herman, Schmidt, or someone anyway, game 1 or 2. So I think if the Yankees do go up 2-1, like obviously just sweep the series anyway, it doesn't matter. If you just sweep the series, it doesn't matter. But I think if they do go up 2-1, I would probably start Tyone game 4 and try to save Cole for game 1 against Houston.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good point. And I don't think there's any I don't even think that would be like a look ahead. Like obviously, like Tyone is still we still have a deep enough rotation where like Tyone could easily win. Tyone had a solid season.
Yeah,
And
Tyone and Herman are both good enough to win a game.
yeah,
They
they're
just they've never pitched in the playoffs before. Is the only thing with that.
yeah. I mean, but if there's a team to make your playoff debut against, the Guardians, this year's
Wait,
Guardians.
Herman has, hasn't he?
I don't think so. Did he?
I thought he
The
did.
only one would have been
No,
last
oh
year.
wait, yeah, that was when he was suspended in 2019.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got
never
suspended.
mind.
Yeah, he fucking cost us the championship in 2019.
Yeah, it wasn't Altuve, it was him. But or
Well,
Chappie.
theoretically, it was.
Yeah, no, that was tough. Herman was having a great year, and then that happened.
If Herman and Betances didn't get hurt,
yeah, but
I'll have to think about that.
that's yeah. What are you gonna do about that? But yeah, I would agree. Like saving Cole for game 1 against because like this ALCS since like April, at least May, we've been looking forward. Like we've been gearing up for an ALCS against the Astros. And the Astros ended up opening up a nice lead against us, so they would have home field, which is disappointing. But saving Cole, so again, like not pitching Cole until game 3 would be much like I would much rather start Tyone or Herman in game 4. I agree with you there. 100% Kaden. Um yeah, I think it's a mess up from the league though. Just I don't get the scheduling this year.
Yeah,
But
if
that
they didn't schedule that random extra off day for Wednesday, they could have just played last night.
yeah, that's and
And they'd already
it's
be up 2-0, and Nestor would have pitched a perfect game, and that's what they were trying to
exactly,
avoid, I
man.
guess.
They just don't want Nestor to have a postseason perfect game. They're trying to I don't know. They just don't want Nestor to win, man. They don't want to see Nestor win. Simple
Stacking
as
that
that.
deck
Good thing
up,
he's
I
gonna
guess.
pitch a perfect game anyway. So we're not
I
worried
pitched
about
2
it.
now this postseason.
Yeah. So is there anything else to like really get into with the Yankees?
Can I just say one thing about the Marwin thing real quick? Because
Yeah.
I have an actual theory on why Boone picked Marwin over Peraza, and if it is
Sure.
the case, I don't like it. But I do think because even as analytically driven as Aaron Boone is, he does still have a little bit of that old school baseball mentality because he was a player, his brother, his father. I think the Marwin over Peraza thing was that either way, neither of them was going to start. So Boone looked at Marwin and said, "Look, you're an older player. You're declining. I don't know how much longer you have in the league. Let's try to get you a ring on your way out. Peraza is going to have plenty more chances." And if that's the case, I don't like it, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's literally what Boone's thought was. Because the versatility thing doesn't make any sense because you already have Cabrera who can play every position anyway. So it would have to be there's a specific reason why it's Marwin over Peraza.
It could be a mixture of both. I mean, actually, I think like just getting as maybe he just wants as much versatility as he can. So like Cabrera can play a lot of different positions. Maybe he just wants, and especially if they're none of them are going to start, maybe he wants a more versatile player to come off the bench so he can fill in for more positions off the bench.
The issue with that is you already have 4 or 5 other bench. You have 2 backup outfielders in Hickson with Castro. You've got Cabrera who can literally play everywhere. So if Cabrera had to go to the infield, that works. And then you have Carpenter who can play first, third, left, right, and then you got your backup catcher in Higgy. So it just doesn't make sense that it's a versatility thing. And if you put Peraza on, and then Peraza could play short, but I'm sure he could fake it at second and third too. IKF can catch if he has to. Like you've already got plenty of versatility there. So I don't think that the fact that Marwin can stand at different positions helps us at all in the playoffs.
I agree that it doesn't, but I would lean like I think Boone would like maybe he just again wanted the most versatility he can. But I think sentimental, like emotionally, there's too much pressure on Aaron Boone to win for him to let that get in the way. I don't think emotionally it's like let's get Marwin a ring. I mean, doesn't Marwin already have a ring? Like let's get him
2017 Astros.
Yeah, so I guess that doesn't still a fake ring, but still, I think that he just probably thought about the versatility. Ra, what do you think about Cade's theory and my point?
I think Kane. I could see if Boone had that logic. Still maybe stupid, but at least it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean Peraza, but again, I don't know if Boone's really thinking about the future right now. It's October.
No, it's not the future. Like you're never really thinking about the future when you're the manager of the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's the thing. Every year is like World Series plus.
Yeah,
Especially like that Aaron Boone knows
extent.
like the clock
To an
is ticking
extent.
in.
to an extent, yeah. I mean, it's you got to at least.
Like ever since Boone has come in, because when Boone came in, they got stand.
Ever since when Boone came in, yeah.
It's been World Series plus.
Theoretically, this year had the least expectations on it, and it's been his best year. 2019 is probably better for Boone, but overall, it's been
definitely better for Boone just because of all the injuries that happened. Which I mean, this is the New York versus Boston podcast, so I love when Red Sox fans try to claim injuries. Like they were so nice to us when we had our injuries and still won 100 games.
Oh, when we were starting Mike Talkman and Mike Ford and Cameron Maben as our 3-4-5 hitters.
Yeah, still won 100 games. I mean,
and still winning them and still beating their ass.
Yeah. Here's okay. I do want to.
Valera was getting big hits off Chris Sale.
I'll repeat this with when Kurt comes on, but I can take the shit from Red Sox fans of I love seeing you guys get your hopes up every year, and we might have some years where we suck. This is gonna end it. All right. Yeah, the free shit. I'm broke, boy, so this is gonna end in 10 minutes. We'll have to restart. We'll talk about the Yankees for like 10 more minutes, and then reset it, and then we can get into the football thing. But I could take the that type of shit. Like even though we might suck, like we have the chips. They do have the chips on us. Yankee fans our age, the Red Sox, they have it up on us, at least chips wise. But I've heard this ridiculous line from multiple Red Sox fans saying, "Oh, actually, I would rather know my season is going to be over before the regular season ends, then get my hopes up." And that just makes you sound like a fucking loser that's okay with winning 75 games or whatever they want.
No, that shit's not how we do things. Like that's not how it works here.
That's like, not how
you guys know that I'm probably the least like, oh, we're the New York Yankees fan that you know. And even I'm like, no, that's not how shit works here. Like we don't take years off to rebuild. We
Yeah.
don't accept. We don't just accept. Oh, we're a fourth place team and that's it. Like we don't trade a generational talent because we're afraid we're unable to sign him, so he can go win a World Series somewhere else. We
Yeah.
don't. We just don't do that. So the idea of we'd rather finish in last place and know it's over than losing the division series, the championship series, that's complete bullshit.
It's ridiculous. And you're really telling me as a Red Sox fan that you preferred this year over last year? Like when you made the ALCS? Like, stop it. You
When they
sound
could have won the World Series.
yeah, like you sound like a silly person. It really, I mean, I don't want to like personal attacks over sports, but it makes you sound like a loser. Like when it's like, and listen, again, the whole yes, you guys have the chips on us, but that comes with the boomer bust thing, and the Yankees make the playoffs every year, so you're gonna have years where you finish shitty and the Yankees don't, and we got a leg up on you this year. Again, it
Go
doesn't mean
find any other sports. Go find any other sports franchise that has 30 consecutive winning seasons.
yeah, and again, that like it's hard to like totally bring that up because they again can throw the chips in our face. But again, don't act like
Well, I
this
mean, in
was
those
good.
30 years, we have more.
Yeah, but I'm saying like don't act like this season wasn't a complete and utter failure for the Red Sox because it was. It was embarrassing. They embarrassed you as a fan. They embarrassed the city. They embarrassed the whole sport, frankly. So I
They
mean they
embarrassed their
really
country.
yes, they had the I mean they had some of the worst stretches of baseball ever. This does feel low because Kurt's not here, even though he couldn't defend himself because what we're saying is true. We are
I don't
ultimately
think Kurt would disagree with that though, because Kurt would prefer to make the championship series than be in last place.
yes, no, he would, and we'll have him on. And again, he's gonna say, "Oh, I love you. See you guys getting your hopes up, and you guys are gonna get humbled." And listen, maybe we will. Maybe the Astros will humble the Yankees. I don't want it to happen, but it's a possibility. However, it's not going to be by those fucking Red Sox bum. They're not going to humble us. So whatever. But actually, yeah. I mean, I just don't know if there's like how much more is there to say about the postseason. You guys have anything else like the Yankees?
No.
No, I don't think so.
All right. I mean, with the last, there's 6 minutes, so I'll just let you know when it's going. But now we're gonna start a segment here, week 6. I'm gonna call it the spread offense. We're gonna pick every game against the spread. A punny name right there. In about an hour. In about an hour, I'll read off the lines too. And if you guys want to know a total to a game, if like I'll also read off the total because if you don't like a spread but you're leaning more towards a total, I could see that. We'll keep track of the records. For more me and Roy, I'll keep track of it with Kaden too, but I don't know if Kaden will be on every week. So, but we're gonna start off with a game that's happening in about an hour. Washington and Chicago. Just a beautiful game. I don't know if it can get worse than Colts Broncos, but at least with Colts Broncos, like going into the season, you could see why that would be like a game that you could pick on Thursday night. Like the Colts were considered a playoff team. The Broncos had as much hype as anybody. I was big on the Broncos hype train. So far one of the biggest L's I've taken as somebody that goes on podcasts, bets on sports, predicts sports, is I was all over the Broncos and they look like utter
I
shit.
wasn't. I didn't think they were going to be bad, but I didn't think they were great. I knew the Raiders were going to be bad. I was saying that all offseason.
Yeah, but anyway, Washington started the week as 1-point underdogs. That is when I bet them. They are now 1-point favorites. I'm gonna go with Washington. I really like Washington in this spot. I think one, you're fading the public. The public's all over the Bears. You're fading the public and the Bears. The Bears are one of the worst teams in the NFL. And also, another reason why I like them in this spot is the only thing the Bears can do well is run. The only thing Washington can do well is stop the run. I really like Washington in this spot. It's one of my favorite spots, honestly, of the week. I like Washington here, -1. Hammer it. What about you guys?
I'm with you. I think Washington. I think that overall their offensive scheme can create some points, and the Bears' offensive scheme can basically create none. The Bears' defense with Roquan and everybody is good, but I think Carson can figure some stuff out. I don't think it's going to be a particularly high scoring game. Like I could see it being like 20-7 in favor of the Commanders. But I do want to say it is pretty gross that this is a nationally televised game and Bills Chiefs is a mid afternoon
Yeah.
game on Sunday.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't mind Eagles Cowboys Sunday night, but come on now.
Well,
And
of
then
course, that's a big rivalry,
the
but
Broncos too. Like the Broncos are on Monday night again. Anyway, Route.
they
What
get
do you
the
think?
Chargers.
Yeah. What are you leaning here?
I think I'm gonna go with Washington here. I
Washington.
just think we're all on it.
We're all on Washington. All right, there's 3 minutes. So next game, the start of the 1 o'clock games. Atlanta is going to San Francisco. Wait, no. I think actually,
It's in a home game for Atlanta, I believe.
yeah, it is. Home game for Atlanta. They are 5.5-point underdogs. Do you guys want to like alternate who starts, or like I could start everyone too? Like,
Just go to whoever. It's all right.
all right. I'll go. I don't love this game, but I'm gonna stick with Atlanta. They really, if it wasn't for that roughing the passer call, I mean, they did end up covering against the Bucks, but they could have won outright in that game. The Niners are coming off a pretty easy win over the Panthers. Again, I don't love it, but the Falcons have covered every game. I think I could see a backdoor cover here where the Niners are up by, like 10, and then the Falcons get a last minute touchdown. Don't love it, won't actually bet it, but I'm leaning Falcons.
So my bold prediction for this game is this is going to be the Grady Jarrett game because he's
Okay.
going to be so pissed about the whole thing with Brady last week, and he is going to see Jimmy G. He's going to see Brady's backup, and he's going to see number 12 in a Bucks uniform. I'm thinking 3 sacks out of Grady Jarrett, and I'll take the Falcons to win by like a field goal.
Falcons outright. Okay, Ra, what about you?
I am going with I think I'm going with Niners minus 5.5. I think the Niners take care of business here.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like the Falcons aren't going to go 16 and
They're
0.
due for not a cover loss if they cover every game. They're due for
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't mind. I'm leaning honestly, if I were to like actually bet something for this game, I don't mind over 44.5 points here. I think that's little bit. I'm like, again, like this isn't like, again, we're not betting every game, but I really that's where I would go. So okay, there's a minute left, so I'll end it here and then we can start it back up for another 40 minutes.
Sounds good.
All right.